What is happening? Welcome back to the Past Alive. Thank you all for tuning in. And tonight, we have another episode of Turn Back the Clock Tuesday, the monthly free rip. We're heading back to 1998 this evening to rip into a hobby box, something that I have not yet opened before, ever. In the 7 years of me opening old boxes in this channel, I've never opened 98 Stadium Club, and we have the Odds series. So the first series titled Odds, which is kind of weird, but all the odd numbered cards from 1 through 400 we will find in here. Rookie class in 98 was pretty scarce by today's standards. The best rookie we're going to find is Maglio Ordonez, but primarily we're chasing after autographs or dual autographs and a bunch of insert cards that can be found, probably more so chasing the triumvirate inserts, which are pretty valuable, especially the refractor kind triumvirates, the illuminators. They are valued at several $100s a piece. These boxes nowadays are running, they're about $100 typically, even for retail. So pretty excited to rip into this. We have Cal Ripken as our cover board. We have 24 packs in here, 9 cards per pack, and we have 4 participants. Let's figure out how to open up this awkwardly shaped hobby box, and we will get down to some true cardboard debauchery. So we got Jerry Manley, Mikey G, and everybody else. Thank you guys all for being here. Adam says, I love the inserts in Stadium Club around these years. They're definitely freaking awesome. I do have some of the triumvirates, and they're die cuts. They're amazing looking, and they do have some value. Now the Rubik's Cube part comes in of how to open the damn box. I think this pops open very, very interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen one like that before. So the box top is certified by Joe Grippo, designed by a combination of experts in the field of trading cards. We call them Stadium Club insiders. So some sort of pact that they have amongst themselves, promising you quality in 98 Stadium Club. It's almost like a candy bar box. I'm very intrigued by this, but a nice product overall. We have 4 participants in this rip. Jetman says, thank you, Joe Grippo, for your service. I'll get down to reading those in a second. Let's pick out the first contestant in this monthly rip. It's going to be this one. That's going to be Nick West. I feel like Nick West usually ends up at the last spot. But Jerry Manley in the house, remember, for 39 months is whoop, whoop, jug of hose. Let's go, Red Sox. Jerry Manley showing his true juggalo passion with that comment. Go, Red Sox. Remember, for 41 months, Mike Waleris says, looking forward to some good old debauchery. Mike is always in here. Thank you for that, Mike. Appreciate you. And we also have a mess of things in the house. Everyone gets 6 packs. We'll pull out the first 6. Seems to be all right here for Nick West. We'll push this bulbous and awkwardly shaped box off to the side. A mess of things says, John, thanks for continuing to do these. I'm having fun using your boxes to make a whole bonus series to share with my free minute rip participants. Thank you, Mess of Things. Mikey G, I think you posted a link to a Mess of Things. Please check out our buddy Robert and his minute rips. And good luck to Nick West. So these are $3 a pack. Back in 1998, we have all kinds of propaganda featured on the back side of here. Some odds. The triumvirates are pretty hard to pull. There's a link to a Mess of Things. Subscribe to him if you'd be so kind. I hope that there's no bricking, but there's possible Jeter dual autographs in here. Tony Gwynn, Roger Clemens, all kinds of goodies. Alton also in the house. What is going on? It says, first super chat. Alton, cards, cars, and guitars. What's happening, man? And he says, a Mess of Things beat me. Please check out Alton's channel as well. He hasn't posted anything lately, but we should see something from him pretty soon. Appreciate you, Alton. Not too often I get to see these, but they actually are embossed with the seams of a baseball here, and they're not bricked. So great, great sign right there. Willie Green starts this pack off for Nick West, B.J. Surhoff. There's Jose Cruz Jr. back in 1998. Would have been a pretty freaking hot card, to say the least. Here's the back side of these. Got an awful lot going on, but a nice design overall. And 98 was really when I kind of exited the hobby. Wasn't really buying too many packs at this time, so I don't think I've ever opened a single pack of these. Darrell Hamilton. But Stadium Club was always well known for their very premium photography. Tim Salmon. Sean Estes was real pumped on him back then, and Joey Cora, along with the checklist, is going to end the first pack in the books for Nick. Hoping for some nice pulls. We got Craig B in the house, and it's not the Craig B imposter. Remember, for 48 months, says not bricking. Craig, what is going on, man? Glad you can make it in here tonight. I was worried about that. I was sweating. It looks like we have a parallel in this pack. It's a first day issue, I believe. Bobby Witt. Also, check out Craig B and check out his Sandberg September series he has going on. The guy Sandberg's PC is nothing short of extraordinary. You're going to want to see that and check those videos out. We also have an insert in here as well. Kolesko, Terry Adams, it's going to be an in the wings. So some prospects, one Encarnacion. Definitely was a pretty hyped up prospect. He did play in the big leagues for quite a while. And this is our first insert to come forth. Nice looking card though. Encarnacion, Tony Clark. There's Deion Sanders sliding in. Ishmael Valdez. John Garland. I thought that was a first day. It's actually a draft pick on the older early 90s Stadium Club. They have a little box there, the first day issues. Threw me off for a second, but it's John Garland. I remember pulling his 97 Bowman back then and top loading it. I don't know if checklist cards are one per pack. They seem to be thus far. And on to pack number 3, Kevin McGlinchey. Craig B. Carson, just stick to the short thing and watch the pass this alive. I appreciate you, Craig. I've been checking your videos out. I'd like to see Craig B. get to 500 subs, and most of you are probably well aware of him. So please subscribe to him and jump on his bandwagon there. Manny Ramirez, Ray Ordonez, Jim Tomey, Chan-Ho Park, F.P. Santangelo. When was the last time you said that name? Kevin McGlinchey, feature stars. Neat design on that one. Edgar Martinez looking terrified as he slides in. Almost looks like he's trying to force himself down the chimney on Christmas Eve. All I can really see in that photo is like the top half of his body. If you take that away, trying to force himself down somebody's chimney. Jed Hansen. So checklist cards, one per pack. Officially propaganda pieces. Ed Smiley says they are nice looking cards. They definitely are nice. I can't believe I've gone all this time and never opened a pack of these. I'm trying to throw us a curveball here like Upper Deck and throw random cards upside down. Scott Carl, Jefferson, there's Levon Hernandez, Oliver Dean Palmer, Jermaine Allensworth. Probably a cringe-worthy name nowadays, but I was stoked on him back then. Armando Benitez, there's one Encarnacion again, and a Dermal Brown ends this pack. I like that touch though, it's pretty cool. Not nearly as good as like the 87 Topps feature stars, but we'll take it. We don't really have a choice. 2 packs left for Nick West. The first stack of the rip. And I used to hate checklist cards as a kid, so I would have not liked this release that much because of that alone back in 98. Brett Tomko. There's Rusty Greer. It's a pretty sick photo though. Brad Smith looking real down in the dumps in that old school laptop. Jeff Kent, wonder if we'll see him get into Cooperstown at some point. Kevin Young, Mark Bellhorn, kind of a big name from the mid-90s. Girardi, and we got a Mike Piazza ending this pack. Cool photo of Piazza there. We got Paul L. in the house. What is going on, Paul? Didn't catch you at the beginning of the video. Final pack for Nick. So you got a Juan Encarnacion in the wings insert. Let's see if we can find you something else in here. Why is that top card always upside down? This is Scott Rowland, another guy who also has autographs in here. Mark Mangum. I thought that said Mark Magnum for a second. Rowland, Mark Magnum, Jose Offerman, and Dave Justice. Tatis, Chris Benson, feature stars. Would have been a hot one back then. That ends the first stack in the books for Nick West. The first 6 down. The next 6. Robert Herm says SP. 2, 4, 6. Foxy says Jeter Auto, please. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that, man. Greg's another guy always pumping out videos. If you have not subscribed to Foxy, Mikey G could post a link to him. I think he's around 30 subs now. He's just kind of starting his channel. He opens a lot of older stuff like I do here, and he also showcases his pickups. He's a big Jeter collector, so appreciate you, Foxy. Maybe we'll see a Jeter in this rip tonight. Ed Smiley is next. There's a link to Foxy. Appreciate you, Mikey. First pack. Find you something good in here, Ed. Boom Slang. What is going on, man? Smoltz. It's going to be an interesting card coming up. Kevin Elster. Giles, I think it's his second year, Brian Giles. Scott Erickson, George Williams having the time of his life, putting on the pads. Rich LaSalle, it's actually a rookie card of him. And Todd Green, sweet photo. Kurt Schilling, Ugueth Urbina. And a very interesting and unique photo of John Smoltz, apparently snagging a fly ball. Very interesting card there. Never have seen that one before. On to pack 2. Ed might be looking for that Maglio Ordonez for his rookie box. See if we can find one in here. Billy Wagner. Brian Charles's great shot. It's definitely an interesting one. Glavin. Michael Tucker shows up. Kevin Brown. Damon Bonds climbing the wall. Another sweet photo. AJ Hinch here. Feature stars card. Jason Delero. I feel like I vaguely remember that name, but it's kind of a face that you could definitely forget. It's very, very bland. It almost looks computer animated. And Shigatashi Hasegawa is going to end that pack along with another damn checklist. Vista breaks as I remember Smoltz catching that fly ball. I have never before heard of that, so that is interesting to me. I'm going to have to look that up. On to the next one for Ed. Perez, we got Walker. James Baldwin, there's Boomer Wells, is Corey. If he weren't on the run, would be here to call him. Jeff Cirillo, Kurt Schilling yet again. Jeff Montgomery, Bobby Jones. And a big name from the early 90s, Jeffrey Hammonds. Looks real disgusted in that photo. Jeffrey Hammond's cards were absolutely nuts. If you go back and you would look at old Beckett's, like his 91 tops traded, especially his 92 Bowman Gold foil. It's like $50 at one point in time. It's crazy. Man, those kind of dropped off overnight. The whole 92 Bowman set in general. Got some more cool photos coming up in here. Mickey Morandini leaping around. Albert Bell. Bronya, we have another insert. The Never Compromise. I believe we'll see probably about 2 of these in this box. What the hell? Ken Kaminem. The font is so weird, it looks like they just didn't finish his name. How weird is that? I feel like most people kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me. The letters are so close together, it just looks like it's Ken Kamim. Interesting. But a Never Compromise, Kennedy is an insert. Vladdy Guerrero, we got a Griffey for Ed. It's not 89 Donruss, I know, Ed, but still nice nonetheless. Alex Gonzalez, future star card. Aaron Aiken. Paulo says, why the hell is that insert card remind me of 95 Fleer? The Never Compromise, I could see that, man. It's because of all of these. The different coloring and all of this stuff going on in the front photo. It's a reason why I've never opened up 95 Fleer here, and Paul L. pretty much just pointed it out. Miguel Tejada is going to end that pack. We have 2 left for Ed Smiley. 95 Fleer is a hideous, absolutely disaster of a release. Rich Becker. Here's Kevin Ory. Having fun in the outfield. Jeff Fry, Chad Curtis, part of Topps Jailbreak nowadays. And we have an insert card in here with a 98 Bowman design. I think it's going to be a preview card. Clayton, it's Frank Thomas. Look at that. You got a Frank Thomas Bowman previews. I guess, yeah, they do advertise that 98 Bowman veteran preview. It's a nice one to get, Ed. You got a Thomas. Very nice. I haven't opened up too much 98 Bowman around here. Ray Durham leaping around. Would have been stoked on that card back then. Reynolds and Ryan, not Reese, McGuire. 1 pack left for Ed. Got a nice Thomas insert. To mess with things, this makes me think of the logo for San Francisco Muni. I could totally see that, Robert. I could totally see that. Appreciate that one, man. Kevin Apier starts his last pack off. Eldred Kilvio-Veras. There's Bayerga. Who's this? Keith Lockhart. Paul Sorrento. I know Paul L. is cringing as we speak, showing that card. Mike Stoner, another guy I was pretty stoked on around this time. Vernon Wells, whose rookies were 97 releases. And Todd Zeal is going to end the second stack for Ed in the books. Some decent inserts came forth in that stack. Paul L. is demanding a Mike Walkden sighting. Mike Walkden is very much still here. He's not rotating. He's only levitating in the soon-to-be Eternal Snow Globe. And while we're breaking for a second, might as well show this freaking guy. Demonic, as ever, Pee-wee is on site, and he is pretty pissed off. Him and I got into it again earlier, which is it's pretty typical what happens daily. The next 6 packs. Paul L's pumped on the poll. On the Walkden sighting. The next 6. Mikey G is pumped on the Pee-wee sighting. How could you not be? Jeff says satanic. The next spot, Mikey G. Hoping for some Yanks in this next stack for you, buddy. Bernie Williams has some nice inserts in here. Maybe we'll find one. If I can get them open. And tomorrow night, I'm not sure if I'm going to do an auction yet or not. It's kind of 50-50 at this point. Keep an eye out for that. Will probably be decided a half hour prior to the time, the normal time. We got Walker again, Baldwin. So the 90s collation is creeping in. Scott Spezio. Looks like he's either humping or kicking Garrett Anderson in the face. AJ Finch, Bobby Jones, and Jeffrey Hammond yet again. Mean Mugget to end that pack. On to number 2. I'm pumped on a John Jeffs. Morandini, Albert Bell, and look at that. That's our second Never Compromise. These are, I think they're one in, 12 packs, something like that. Tony Gwynn shows up on this 95 Fleer design, basically. Number NC5. Gwynn also has autos in here. Be sweet to pull one of those. Jared Wright, Willie McGee. Always looks so terrified of life in every one of his photos. Even making contact with the ball. Still looks very scared. Aaron Aiken and Miguel Tejada is going to end this pack. Nice cards, though. And I don't think you have to really worry about them bricking too much because they're embossed in 2 spots on every card. I think that kind of keeps them from being flush against each other. Rest in peace, Tony Jetman says. And now the Willie McGee emoji is being spammed. I gotta add the Sacagawea emoji on there. Doesn't look like we have an insert in this pack. Carlos Perez was stoked on him mid-90s. There's Big Mac showing up. Nomar Garcia Parra. Pettit, that's a cool photo. Esteban Loaiza. As far as I know, Esteban Loaiza will be in prison for probably until I'm an old man, I imagine. Ramon Martinez, Pudge Rodriguez, good pack here. And, of course, a great way to end it. Willie McGee. Had to top it off with that one. That's what made the pack. Travis Lee. Our big name from this era. Dan Wilson. We have Ripken showing up now. Castilla. Darren Erstad. Early on in his career. Some sign language happening there. Bobby Bowe. Spezio again. There's a Travis Lee. Getting real angry in that photo. He meant business in those early years. Didn't really produce that much, though. Doug Jones and Derek Lee. Ends the pack. Damn checklist in every pack. I guess back before the age of the internet, though, that was a pretty good thing. I didn't think so. I hated it because it typically robbed me of a potential PC guy. Jermaine Dye, we have Tony Gwynn. Omar Vizquel, rounding the bases. Renteria. There's Mike Sweeney. Metallico, Reggie Sanders, J.J. Davis. Feature Stars card. There's a Mark Clark ending that pack. We have one more from Mikey G. Not sure what the next rip will be yet. Have not yet determined that. We're due for something nice to come up here pretty soon. Todd Dunwoody. There's a Jeter. Cameron. Gonzalez. For a second there, I thought that was said Melito Perez and he was batting, and thought we were trying to summon Jonathan H. for a minute, but it's Eduardo Perez, Jarrett Wright again, Adrian Beltre, feature stars. His rookies were 97 releases. Terry Steinbach and Canseco is going to end this pack and the stack for Mikey G. So Mikey G got himself a Jeter. Jetman says 95 Fleer rip next. See, I'd probably do that just for laughs and for fun because they do have some sweet insert cards. There's no doubt about that. But they brick up real freaking bad. Like, real bad. We'll push this off to the side, mess with things. Saw Terry in there. The last 6 packs. Jeter, but no auto. maybe this last stack for Robert will bring us an auto. They're tough to pull, though, as they always were, anything from 90s releases. We're due for something nice to come out of this next stack. I would almost guarantee it, but don't hold me to it. There's George Williams again. Loiza, it's a collation. Not the best, obviously. Chipper Jones showing up the first time. And Smoltz making that crazy catch. First pack in the books for Robert. A relatively quick rip. Travis Lee yet again. Glavin and Wagner start this pack off. Erstad again. Randall Simon. And there's the fake face of Jason Delero along with Hasegawa to end the pack. On to number 3. Pack wrappers are kind of tight. Perez, Ashby, Big Mac, Nomar, Pettit, so like same exact collation. Juan Guzman, haven't seen that one yet. Best thing says just a bribe. I'll see what I have, Robert, to add to your personal PC, as some would call it. I will see what I have, man. I'm sure I have some Larry, Berries, Jerry's, maybe Terry's laying around. Ripken, Castilla, Perez, Mark Kotze. It's a second-year Kotze. Man, they really did him dirty on that photo. Beltre again, Doug Jones. There's a link to a mess of things yet again. I'll miss out on his minute rips. Derek Lee. And then there were 2, the final 2 at 98 Stadium Club. So it's still a box you can get for relatively cheap by today's standards, because a lot of these late 90s boxes are ridiculous prices. So $100 in today's realm, it's really not that bad, especially with what modern hobby boxes and stuff cost. Gwyn Vizquel, Mike Matheny, or Matheny. Bernard Gilkey, of course, shows up. J.J. Davis, Mark Clark, leaving us with 1 pack left. Alton says hit the thumbs up and share the video. Thank you, Alton. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm glad you made it in here tonight. And hopefully Alton can bring us some luck on this very last pack for Robert. Let's finish the break with Willie McGee. He might be at the end of this pack. He very well might be. Check out Cards, Cars, and Guitars. We got another Jeter. A Mike Cameron. There's a John Franco. Cool photo on that one. Brian L. Hunter. Juan Encarnacion. There's an Eric Milton. Steinbach, and something's hiding behind him. There's a link to Alton's channel again. It's going to be Canseco looming at the end of the box. Not enough Willie McGee in that box for my taste. So, quick rip, but a fun one nonetheless. One I've never done before. I don't know if we would revisit those again. They're cool because they're kind of almost very unlikely to brick up, and there's a chance for a lot of insert cards. The triumvirates, again, if you haven't seen those, look them up and check them out. They're very, very nice, and they're pretty freaking pricey too. So for $100, try your luck and maybe find one of these dual autographs or something. I'll have to figure out what we're going to open for next month's free rip, and also if there's going to be an auction tomorrow night. I'm still going to produce a video probably Thursday on that collection I bought. It's probably been 2 months now. We'll probably do it live. It's a lot of 60s, even some 50s, maybe even some 70s, and some junk wax mixed in there. A lot of football. There's old hockey in there from the 70s, baseball as well. We'll do that live, I think, probably Thursday evening, finally, after months of talking about it. So that's really all that I have coming up, but I appreciate you guys all being here. Nick West says no name on front tomorrow. I actually don't have any more 90 tops. I have a rack box, and that's really about it. I have a sealed jumbo pack case, which I don't really want to open, and I think we all know that the no name on front can't come out of rack packs. You have no chance of it coming out of there, so I probably won't open that. I don't have any other boxes, so I don't think we're going to be doing the usual rip, sadly and unfortunately, but maybe perhaps I'll find one for a decent price and we'll pick back up in November. We'll have to wait and see as far as that goes, but hopefully if I do an auction tomorrow night, you guys will join me for that. If not, I will see you back Thursday night. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys freaking rule. Hopefully catch you tomorrow.